Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsockеtradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
And a good morning to you. It is Coffee Ann time on ON Radio, first Coffee Ann for the month of March in the year 2025. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan. Nice to have you along with us. We'll be joined by Melissa Murray coming up in a few minutes at the Coffee Ann table. We'll say good morning to Scott Gibbs. He is the town administrator from North Smithfield.
Good morning.
How are you there, Scott?
Good.
Good. We're going to talk about things going on in North Smithfield in just a bit. But joining us on the phone is Dan Gendron, Woonsocket City Council President, to talk about the agenda for tonight's Woonsocket City Council meeting. And good morning to you, Dan.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Mayor. Okay.
Hey,
I don't know why I always do that.
He was mayor.
Good morning, Council President.
That's fine.
How are you, sir?
You got a promotion.
Thank you.
All right, tell you got the Woonsocket City Council meeting 7 o'clock tonight at Harris Hall, and what are the highlights on tonight's agenda?
Real quick, I think I tried to brush over it in the preview, but we have a number of items because of a charter change. The administration is now required to request permission from the city council before they apply for any grants, because what we were running into in previous years is there would be applications, time spent submitting grants applications and going through all of the tedious work for that, and then the council would have no interest or they wouldn't have the staffing to manage it, so it would then end up being, falling by the wayside, and it was just a waste of labor and time. So we now have this. You'll see there's a number of resolutions that are seeking support to submit a request for a grant. So it's a new, time in Woonsocket, but I think it's going to create a better dynamic. And if you see, I don't know honestly if all of these grants could actually be managed. And so there may be some questions asked tonight about, the importance of the different grants, because a lot of these do have both matching funds and, requirement of labor that if anyone knows the way the city's finances are, we may not be able to afford the additional labor to manage them. But that'll be a discussion for tonight, and that's the benefit of putting them on for the agenda.
All right. I also heard on your news report that you having your first report, I guess would say, from the that homeless task force that's been put together?
Yeah, so, and I normally wouldn't mention reports of committees on the preview that I send to you, but I pointed that out because the homelessness is such an important issue. One of the first things that this council did was create the Woonsocket Homelessness Subcommittee, which is a subcommittee of 3 members of the Woonsocket City Council, and it is chaired by Vice President Sierra, Councilman Dubois, and Councilwoman Gonzalez are the 3 on that committee. And they've been working, to put together different approaches, if you will, to handling the homelessness. And so that report is on. It's 41 pages, I believe, and it has a lot of important statistics, and I think it shows that there's been quite a bit of work done by the subcommittee, and we've a lot of communities have used subcommittees over the years. Woonsocket has not done a lot with subcommittees, but I think based on where we are and the current status and trying to dig our way out from what the recent past of history of Woonsocket, these subcommittees are going to become more and more important. So that report is on, and if you have a chance, you can glance through that, but I'm sure it will be taken up tonight for some discussion.
All right, very good. Well, tonight's Woonsocket City Council meeting, 7 o'clock at Harris Hall. The public's invited, right?
Absolutely invited, and if not, it's always being played live on WOON, so it's available for people to listen if they don't have the ability to get there and watch. So at least tune in to WOON, and you'll hear the whole meeting live.
Very good. Well, Dan, thanks for calling in and telling us about tonight's Woonsocket City Council meeting. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you, and say hi to Melissa, and have a good day, Scott and Joe. Both of you be well.
Thank you, Dan.
All right, you have a great day. All righty. And now the North Smithfield is having their town council meeting tonight as well. But before we get to that, it was last week, I think it was last week, that, or maybe 2 weeks ago, we got the message from North Smithfield warning residents about a possible rabid raccoon in the Iron Mine Hill and Sales Hill Road area. What's the update on that?
There's no update.
No, okay, it hasn't been captured, or no?
I don't know if it's been captured. I haven't gotten informed as such, but
All right. Well, just still be aware.
absolutely be aware.
And they, they sent out the good information about don't feed it. Don't feed any stray animals.
No.
Don't pet it. don't stay away from it. Is basically and call North Smithfield Animal Control so they can take care of it.
Well, most animals like that, if they're out in the midday or walking around, it's not a good sign.
Right, especially when it's a nocturnal animal.
Yeah.
And I had to do that one time in the town I lived in. The raccoons in the middle of the afternoon scurried under my porch that I have, and when I called animal control, they said, "Was it acting strange?" I go, "Well, not really, but it shouldn't be out. It's the middle of the day." And they said, "Well, if it's not acting strange, we can't do anything about it." I'm like, "Well, all right, I'll keep an eye on it, and if it acts strange, I will let you know." All right, taking a look at the North Smithfield newsletter that's sent out to every Friday. We got a couple of winners in your Name the Snowplow contest. So good for them.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not in the middle of that competition.
You didn't decide?
I did not decide. My hands are not on it.
They don't. I'm assuming, and maybe I'm wrong on this. I think I am. I thought initially it would be students that were doing this, but as I look at the names that have won, I'm like, I think these are adults.
Adults with a lot of time on their hands. All these kinds of things are kind of fun. They're just ways to engage the community. That's all.
Do you know the names of the winning snowplow?
I do not, and it did not come across my desk.
Well, don't you have to sign off on this?
I do not have to sign off on it, no.
All right. Congratulations to Charlotte McDonough Krause, I should say. Scoop Dog is the winner of the snowplow contest, and the runner-up goes to Emily Lanoy Fraioli, Blizzard of Oz.
Yeah, they're both really good.
So there you go.
A lot more creativity than I have.
And this is done in other communities around the country of people that have snowplows.
Yeah.
To name the snowplow, and I guess would someone go out and actually paint the name on the actual plow?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
Although I think most communities in the country now should have snow plows, given the way the weather's been.
Look what happened down south.
I know.
That's right. Okay. So tonight's North Smithfield Town Council meeting, of which you'll be attending. What will be popping up on their agenda tonight, Scott?
Well, obviously the big issue has been the zoning request by Material Sand and Stone. So this, the town.
What do they want to do?
They want a overlay zone, which effectively will give them the legal rights to continue their operations at their site off of Douglas Pike. It has been a contentious issue, and it's an issue that's been under litigation now for almost 20 years.
Wow. Any pushback from the neighbors?
Oh, there's a lot of pushback by the abutters.
Okay.
But, the company filed a request for a zoning change, which they have absolute right to do. And the town council has been holding a public hearing on that, and tonight there'll be a continuation of that public hearing.
Okay.
It's also before the planning board as well.
Mm-hmm. Will any of the people from Material Sand and Stone, will they be in attendance? Do you know what?
The last public hearing, they were in attendance.
Okay. Did they answer questions? Or
their legal representatives answered questions. Both
Okay.
both their attorney as well as their experts.
Okay. So, 20 years they've been trying to do this.
It's going to be a long meeting. I'm coming.
You're warning people right now.
I'm coming in with lots of coffee for myself.
Oh, well, okay. Will people be asking you questions about?
Particular
topic?
There's been social media, pushback saying, why has the town administrator not been more vocal and representing the abutters on this issue? And I've made it very clear that this is an issue before the town council and the planning board. It's not, I think, the administrator's responsibility, or I think good judgment to interject himself into this process. The town council is gathering information from the applicant, they're gathering information from the abutters, and then they're talking amongst themselves. And I mean, if they ask me a question, I'd be more than happy to answer to the council, but I do not want to get into the middle of it because, like I said, it's not an issue before the town administrator.
Okay. Melissa Murray has joined us at the coffee table. Good morning to you, Melissa.
Good morning.
And only Melissa could have her car overheat in 10-degree weather.
I know. I was like, well, you know what? It's like 14 degrees, and I look down and my, temperature gauge is way up. And
Way
I'm
up
like,
at H, yeah.
all right, let me take a look at this.
Bone dry. Huh?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
All right.
So I'm like, okay. Well, in the first place that I stopped, it didn't have antifreeze. So
Were they out?
They were out.
Wow. No, you're not the only one then, huh?
I guess not. I'm like, how is this even possible? So hopefully I don't have a leak. We'll find out if
All right.
I go back out there and it's empty again.
Now, in the part of North Smithfield that you represent, does it include material sand and stone?
No, but I have been asked to intervene, and again, it's not my
Who asked you to intervene?
a constituent.
Okay.
Or a resident of North Smithfield, right?
And a butter?
And a butter.
Okay.
Yeah. So, again,
You're like Scott
guess-
here. You're like,
right,
it's
right,
not
right.
my
And I
call.
understand that the abutters are upset, and
Yeah.
they're basically worried about the dust going into the air and breathing that in, and how it's harmful, and give you a whole study about silica and how
Uh-huh.
it's bad to breathe that in, and at the end of the day. It isn't my decision. It's a
Right.
decision for the town council, right? But I mean, I understand the concerns. That's going to have to be vetted by, the local authority.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scott, do you know where the town council sits on this? Are they split or there's?
I would not even attempt to project that. I think the town council is very driven to get public input and to get expert input from the applicant. Beyond that, I have no reading.
Okay. Melissa, did you say to the abutter you should maybe you should reach out to the person that represents your area in North Smithfield,
Well, I mean, I didn't.
even though they don't have a say in
No,
it?
right. I know. No, I didn't. I mean, you recognize that the person is concerned, and you just say, like, this is a local decision, and
Yeah.
I can't swoop down and intervene. I don't think the town would like that very much.
Here's what I think about it, kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's we're a separate body, and if the town sends us a resolution and asks us to do something, we have to do it, just like
That's
one
different.
socket, right?
Okay. Mhm.
I think that's the important issue.
We don't even have to like the resolution, but you know what? It's the request of the town, the local authority, and they ask us to do it, we do it.
This is an application before a legislative body,
Yeah.
the town's council. It's not an application before the administration. It's not an application before the state. So I think there's a certain amount of respect that we all have to have towards the appropriate body that's handling this issue and not to overstep our bounds.
All right. But like Scott said, it's going to be a long meeting.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is going to take up a lot of
Lots
it.
of caffeine.
Yeah.
Lots of caffeine to keep you awake tonight. When does it start?
So it's 6:45.
6:45.
It's at the middle school, though, because
You
we
anticipate a lot of people?
Large
Yeah,
crowd,
last time we actually were over the limit and a few people had to leave.
Yeah.
So we move it, the council president, Alves, asked to have it moved to the middle school.
Okay. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, well, more Coffee Ants coming your way. We're talking with Scott Gibbs, Town Administrator of North Smithfield.
Have more fun this winter.
Come learn to ski and snowboard with us.
If it's been years since you last skied, this is the perfect place to return to learn.
Then you'll have all season to have fun.
Go to Wachusett.com for beginner discounts.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey, more like Mirajoyed. That Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at Walmart.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up Oscar!
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
We're local and live at 99.5.
It's Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here, along with Melissa Murray and Town Administrator from North Smithfield, Scott Gibbs. We want to remind people, if you are a subscriber to the Blackstone Valley Call-in-Times and you're wondering where your morning paper is today, it's not coming. They've made a decision. No more Monday papers. So there you go. You'll have to wait till tomorrow to get a paper from them. Taking a look at the your newsletter that comes out Fridays from North Smithfield, Scott, and it's just saying important payment information. So if you pay your real estate, sewer, or water bills through the bank using bill pay, do not send payments to the lockbox Boston address.
Okay.
That's listed on the bill. This will significantly delay your payment because the lockbox will reject the payment and forward it to our office because no payment stub is included. Wow.
News to me.
Is it? Okay.
All I know is my mortgage company pays my property taxes.
Instead, they want you to create a new vendor account and then send the payments to 83 Green Street, which is the address of Town Hall. So in North Smithfield, use that address. Please allow at least 10 business days for the bank to process your payment. They don't accept EFT, and they will need to issue a paper check and mail it to us. Well, the bank should take care of that.
Yes.
Shouldn't they? Okay. Let's see. For what's going on? What is the North Smithfield Water Department's ongoing water tank project?
They had to basically, it was a water tank that was offline, so they've been doing a major restoration of that water tank to bring it back online. They're just now finishing that project.
How long is it going to take?
It's been a while now. It's been working on it for a while.
It's supposed to be completed by June.
Okay.
Yeah, they actually were pretty much done, but then we, in doing some site work, found that they did some sandblasting on the tank years ago, and the remnants of that were in the soil. That has to be remediated, so they're in the process of doing that. But the whole project will be completed by June, and a lot of that was paid for by a grant.
Okay. Oh, great. All right. Things okay over at the North Smithfield Recycling Center?
Absolutely. I'm sure the Public Works Director is loving the phone calls regarding the new pickup process.
What's the new pickup process?
He still gets them. Yeah. Oh, it's obviously we transitioned to a new pickup process where the trucks come in. They'll actually pick up your pails and dump them in like they do in Woonsocket. They changed the recycling process. Now it's
every other week.
It's every other week, okay. And there's a lot of stuff that we used to be able to put at the end of our driveways that we cannot do that anymore. It required a big change by a lot of people and therefore was a little bit controversial. On top of that, there was a miscalculation of the number of actual living units in town by about 400, and therefore we were short by 400 bins. So we had to come back and deal with that. So the dust is settling, and it'll be better next year.
So like you said, he's still getting calls saying my recycling was picked up this
Not
week,
as much as we used to, but
Yeah.
but the Public Works Department still gets it, and you still see the social media comments about it.
Okay. We heard from Dan Genren talking about they have their homeless subcommittee. They're going to make a report tonight on at their Woonsocket City Council meeting. Over at Darling Village, you always see 1, 2, sometimes 3 people looking for handouts. I'm going to make an assumption here. What they're doing is legal because they're always there.
Correct.
Okay. Are they North Smithfield residents? Are you aware? Do you have any idea?
No idea.
Who they are?
No idea.
Okay. But what they're doing is perfectly fine.
That's correct.
Okay. Do you get any comments? Do you get any complaints to Town Hall about these people being out there?
None at all.
No? Okay.
Not into my office.
No.
I don't know if the police department gets anything, but I don't get anything into my office.
Nothing to you?
No.
Okay. Other than that, how else are things over there at the Darling Village? There's a new restaurant over there. took over where Denny's used to be.
Yeah, it's the I guess it's the noodle restaurant.
Yeah, it's a noodle house.
Yeah?
They have another one, I guess.
There's one in Smithfield.
Yeah, in Smithfield. Yeah, I've
Okay.
actually gone there a couple of times. It's pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And they're doing well? Business okay over there for those guys?
I can't tell you. I've
Yeah.
been there a couple times. There's
Yeah.
another one across the street that I go to, a Thai restaurant, but they've been shut
Oh,
down
yeah.
for the past month or so.
They were very good. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're going to be opening up again.
Why did they close down?
I do not know. According to the sign on the door, it says from renovations. There's actually a
okay.
liquor permit, I think, change from them to another company's name. I don't know if they're just reconstituting their own company.
Oh yeah, that happens. Right, with it's just a change of transfer.
Owners?
It's a transfer of the license, right? Sometimes
Okay.
it's to like a different DBA or something like that. That's pretty pretty
is
regular.
That is
Yeah.
on the council docket tonight.
What are they going to be talking about?
Oh, just the transfer.
No,
of
the transfer,
the license.
to approve it or not approve it?
Right. That
Yeah,
has to go
yeah.
before the town council.
This pretty typical in most cities and towns. Right?
Okay.
They just transfer the license over to another name, whether they're selling or they're changing their name or
We're also looking for council. I mean, I was interested in Council President Gendron's comment about the process for grants in Woonsocket and North Smithfield. The administration does not need town council approval to apply for a grant, but we do need town council approval in order to sign the grant agreement. Tonight on the council docket are the authorization for the town administrator to sign a grant agreement with the state of Rhode Island Commerce Corporation under the Rhode Island Site Readiness Program. That relates to the 146 infrastructure. And we also are asking authorization to sign a grant with PAR Engineering or PAR Corporation, which is the subconsultant to the state under the Site Readiness Program. So we're looking to get those things going, and we also have current consultant under contract, Camoy & Associates out of New York, which is doing what's called a tax increment financing study of the 146 corridor. And the whole purpose of that is to determine whether or not tax increment financing is a possible funding mechanism to underwrite the cost of utility upgrades in that area.
Busy, huh?
And there's always a lot of stuff going on. Everybody's busy.
Yeah. Does DOT keep you updated on how things are going with the 146, with the bridges and things like that? Things look like it's moving along just fine.
Yeah, I'm actually been a little bit impressed. I mean, it seems to be moving along pretty rapidly. It's pretty confusing, but given what they're doing, I understand that. But I mean, I don't get regular updates from DOT on that, but I'm sure if I picked up the phone and called DOT, they would clearly keep me up to date on it. But I don't get much complaints other than typical,
Well, what are you going to do?
traffic.
Right. What are you going to do?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But no, it seems to be progressing really well.
But
Once they build that other lane going in both two lanes going in each direction, it's going to move a lot faster.
Yeah.
It's just that those splits, and you get stuck at a light, and you might get stuck at a few lights. What are you going to do?
It's a lot. It's not as bad as it used to be.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
No, it's not. It's
Especially
not.
going southbound.
Yeah.
The line doesn't back up to Massachusetts.
No.
Right.
And going north, the line doesn't seem to back up as far to it used to back up to 295.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
not.
you
I
get
mean,
a
it still backs
little-
up some, but
You
not
get a
like
little,
it
but
used to.
it's not dead stop. It's moving. So
Yes.
it's not that bad.
So I'm glad to see things are moving along like that. Speaking of DOT, they've started something else now on 295 South in Cumberland at both bridges now, where you have to get over into the center lane because the right lane is blocked. It's just, I'm like, what have they started now? It's like, all right. So in the newsletter, Town of North Smithfield is looking for an administrative assistant.
That's correct.
In the town is this a full-time job or a
Yes, it
part-time
is.
position?
Yes, my administrative assistant is moving down to the tax collection department,
Okay.
and I'm out searching for a new administrative assistant.
Okay. Do you do the interviewing?
Yes, I do. The administrative assistant works at the discretion of the town administrator and is hired by
Okay.
the town administrator.
All right. So, have you seen any applications come in?
Yes, I've received 5 applications so far, and I've
Oh, great.
already interviewed one person, and I'll be interviewing another person tomorrow.
Fantastic, but you're still accepting.
Oh, absolutely.
And so you can send in a resume to A. Stange. Is that the person?
That's our finance director.
Okay.
So we basically have him put everything through his office, and then we just hired, for example, a fiscal clerk, which works underneath him. So that was a union position.
I see.
This is a non-union position. So I make that decision.
So it's ASTONGE.
Yeah, otherwise known as Tony.
Okay. At nsmithfieldri.gov.
Yes.
All right. Can you speak to? Are there any new businesses expressing interest in coming to North Smithfield that you can talk about?
There's nothing I can talk about. I can tell you, though, that there is a significant amount of activity right now.
Good.
This is not because of me. There's just some good activity going on, both on the manufacturing and the retail side. So that's going to start working its way through the planning board. Mm-hmm. So that's good news. It's jobs and tax base.
Sure, works out best for you and for the residents.
Well, I mean, when I ran on an unpopular platform of being pro-development.
Okay, that was unpopular?
Yeah, it is, because North Smithfield has had a history of being a little bit anti-development, but I'm very pro-good development because we need to expand our tax base.
Okay.
Right now, over 80% of our costs of operation are paid by residential ratepayers. That's not sustainable.
No.
So we need to expand and diversify our tax base. So these kinds of investments is a good indicator.
Okay. Not that this is in your town, but it's right on the line. And hopefully Woonsocket is getting a hold of you a bit on this, but we got a question called in, 766-1240. What will happen to the traffic when the new elementary school is built across from the North Smithfield police station? I don't know if you can answer that.
I mean, I would assume as part of that process, there's going to be traffic studies done, and that's going to tell you. Obviously, I don't find the traffic in that area to be difficult, but obviously, when you develop or create a fairly large generator of traffic, it's going to have impacts, but it can be managed.
Okay.
I mean, it's on a state highway.
Mm-hmm. And what I've been told is that the school will be set back so far that there'll be plenty of room to people to pull in, where it won't cause a backup on Great Road.
Yeah. I'm sure the senator knows more about that than I. I don't really pay much attention to it.
Well,
traffic studies.
I'm not on that. School committee could probably tell you, but I'm sure that being traffic studies done. I don't think they know whether or not they're gonna have some kind of bump out lane. Do you know what I mean? To go and turn into the school. There certainly is the land for that. So maybe going.
When we had Scott McGee on, superintendent of schools, he basically said, exactly like that. Traffic studies will be done to minimize the amount of traffic that will take place.
I mean, there's going to be traffic, but
there's always traffic.
There's always traffic, but I don't think I've ever sat at a light longer than one light there.
One light change.
I really haven't. But.
All right, we just got a few more minutes to go here with North Smithfield Town Administrator Scott Gibbs. Anything you wanted to bring up? Anything good happening in town you wanted people to know about? Anything of interest?
No, I think that the material sand and stone is the big issue.
That's the big issue in town.
And then on top of that, we're still pushing forward on some projects. We're moving into the congressional appropriation period, so we're going to be working with a congressional delegation. The big project that we're working on in North Smithfield is the multi-generational facility at the former Hollowell School. That committee has been formed. They have co-chairs, which will be Jeff Porter and Linda Tebow. That group is moving forward. We'll be working very closely with them, and we've got a hole that we have to fill on the funding side, and that's what we're working on right now. But it's going to be under design, and I'm very very hopeful that we'll see that project under construction by, sometime hopefully in 2026. Early
All right.
2027.
Scott Gibbs, Town Administrator from North Smithfield, thanks for making your monthly visit here, and best of luck at your Town Council meeting tonight.
Thank you.
Bring
Thank God I'm not a town councilman.
Yeah.
and bring your thermos of coffee, because
Yep.
it could be quite a while. All right. Time for a look at the forecast right now as we take a break, and the weather forecast being brought to you by unbound.org.
Sunny skies today with a high of 32 degrees and a breeze in the northwest. Tonight, mostly clear skies, overnight low of 17. Tuesday's weather, mostly sunny skies, high of 49 and a breeze from the southwest up to 25 miles per hour. Wednesday, clouds come in, 80% chance of rain, mainly in the afternoon, high of 56 with a wind from the south up to 30 miles per hour. Wednesday night, even more rain, overnight low of 49. Thursday, leftover rain, mostly cloudy all day, high of 57. Thursday night, starting to clear, overnight low of 27. Friday, mostly sunny and 42. Saturday, partly sunny and 46. And next Sunday, mostly sunny skies with a high of 41 degrees.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, sunny skies, but it's still cold. 18 degrees. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor, an elder in Guatemala. Dreams being part of a community. Reach out and change the world, and it will change your own at unbound.org. Has the exterior door on your home seen better days? Did your storm door make it through winter, or is it full of dents? Is it time to replace it? Stop at a Pep and Lumber today to see their line of sturdy storm doors and exterior doors. It will improve the look of your home and possibly raise your home's value. And if you're getting a tax refund this year, consider putting that money towards a new door. Pep and Lumber can help you get the door you need. Pep and Lumber, 830 Cumberland Hill Road, Woonsocket. And keep this in mind, decking season will be here soon. Pep and Lumber.
Important reminders from Kafin Oil. First, service contracts that cover most parts, labor, and yearly maintenance. Second, budget contracts spreading your payments through 11 months. Third, quality oil treated with Beckett Ultra Guard to reduce sludge, protect tanks, and increase burner efficiency. Kafin Oil, 765-3881, offering full ventilation systems.
ONRadioDollarSaver.com.
Our Spotlight Bargain at ON Radio's Dollar Saver program is another half-price deal for you. Buy $50 gift cards good for anything at Gators Pub in North Smithfield, and also good next door at Lumberjack's Pizza and Wieners for only $25. They're available only online right now at ONRadioDollarSaver.com. This half-price bargain is your chance to save big on great-tasting food for the weeks ahead, or as gifts for family and friends, and it's only available from the ON Radio Dollar Saver program at ONRadioDollarSaver.com, or take the shortcut at OneSocketRadio.com.
ONRadioDollarSaver.com.
All right, it's Coffee and on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan, here Melissa Murray, and Scott Gibbs joined us a little earlier today. And, the ONRadioDollarSaver.com. There's just a few gift certificates left.
Yep, I was going to bring that up.
For Gators Pub and Lumberjack Pizza.
So I think it's a great deal because you can use it at either. So like, oh, I feel like pub food, or I feel like pizza tonight, This deal has gone really quickly.
Yeah, so get yours.
Get yours before
it's a $50 gift certificate
gone.
for only $25, which is great. And just go to OneSocketRadio.com, click on the logos for Gators Pub and Lumberjack Pizza. It'll bring you right to the website you need to go to, and purchase as many gift certificates as left. There's only
There's
a few
also a
left.
link on our Facebook page. There's the post there. You can go to our website, like Joe said, or you can go to the link on the Facebook page. There's many ways to get there.
And it's Monday. It's March 3rd, and we're starting our Business of the Day contest. Today's
right.
ON Radio Business of the Day, if you have not heard yet, is Pep and Lumber.
The Pep.
So keep that, write that down on a piece of paper somewhere, and don't lose that now, because we want you to keep track of all the businesses that we'll be calling out throughout the month of March, and then at the end of March, send in your list to us, and then we'll pick and we go through them all. I know that's part of my fun,
Mm-hmm.
and throw out the ones that that's not on the list. Throw those out and keep the ones that are correct. The ones we get in are mostly correct.
Yeah.
And then we pull 3 winners to win a $100, $75, and $50 gift card, and the winners get to choose where their gift certificate comes from and from one of the 21 participating businesses of the day. So there you go. So
Yeah.
Pep and Lumber is the business of the day.
It's a good opportunity to shop
today.
local also.
It most certainly is. Well, there's a story on the this is on Saturdays, Blackstone Valley Times, and I heard about the story over the weekend, and it just makes you smack your head or shake your head. You're like, oh, when you see the headline, you say, at least I do, Melissa. I said, please don't be Woonsocket, please don't be Woonsocket, please don't be Woonsocket. And it was former or mayoral candidate arrested for forgery. Please don't be Woonsocket, please don't be Woonsocket. Bang, Woonsocket. I was like, oh.
Yep.
So this was Keith Harrison ran for mayor.
Yep. He was on the ballot. He
was on the
qualified
ballot.
for the ballot.
He got all the signatures. Well,
and a few more.
And a few more than he should have. So and he ran for mayor. And lost. It happens. Usually first time you run.
Yeah.
You don't win. But then they're looking through all the signatures, and this person's dead, and this person's dead, and then they check with some of the others, and they're saying, I never signed that.
Yeah.
And there's a forgery.
Right.
I'm like,
right.
Oh boy.
And I know that they did throw out that particular page or pages.
Yeah.
So what happens is if, you have your signatures, you get 50, 100, whatever, depending on the office that you get. On that entire page, you sign an affidavit.
Yes.
And it's notarized, and it says, I attest that I obtained all of these signatures, that I oversaw all of these. So the way that you can get pinched is, so to speak, is like, say you hand you ask a friend, Joe, can you get me this sheet of signatures? And you say, yep. And you get them all, and then you hand them back to me, and then I go to Board of Canvassers and say that I got them. Well, I didn't. You did, right? And somebody says, well, I didn't sign your paper with you. I signed it with Joe.
Yeah.
And the whole sheet gets thrown out.
Wow.
So whomever was on those sheets, presumably the whole sheet got thrown out and he had to start over. But he still had enough to make it.
Yeah. Well,
But that wasn't all.
Look what happened with the lieutenant governor.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with her.
Right.
With one of her one of her volunteers.
Yeah.
Getting signatures, same thing happened. But
it wasn't just that.
Dead people on the form and forgery, that's bad enough. But then when the police roll up to pick him up, first of all, he gives a wrong name.
Yes.
Not good.
Doesn't identify himself.
Says his name is Kevin.
Yeah.
He's wearing a tag from Brown University Health that says his real name on it.
Yeah.
Which he then tried to cover up with the crossing of the arms, so you can't see it.
Okay. Yeah.
But then they check his car, and here we go. Possession of an unlawful large capacity ammunition clip.
Yeah.
Obstructing police, resisting arrest, failing to safely secure a firearm in his motor vehicle, which he left running, by the way, and walked away from it. And they were looking for him on an unrelated warrant, and they were aided by the flock cameras in town to check him out. And they caught up with him in a parking lot on Social Street, and he was resisting arrest. There's a whole bunch of charges.
All the things.
And these I said, boy, this is, the headline read, and I saw it like on Channel 12's website. The forgery thing was the big headline. I'm like,
I feel like that's
this
not
is far more important.
Right. I know. I thought that was interesting too, that people were focused on the forgery.
Yeah.
And the fact that he ran for mayor, but that really wasn't the big issue here.
Nope. Not when you started reading the whole thing. He had a, not that this is, at least I don't think so. He was also in the possession of a tactical vest that said sheriff on it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I don't know if that's illegal.
Probably not, but
because he said he was working like security somewhere in Providence and needed to wear that. I think he had a baton too.
Yeah.
For safety reasons. And like, by the way, if you wanted to know where it was on Social Street, coming out of the Subway restaurant, that little plaza right there. And he wouldn't identify himself despite warnings. And he kept trying to enter his black Ford Taurus while the engine was running. But they did eventually put him in handcuffs. He struggled. 3 police officers eventually got him under control. A 40 caliber handgun equipped with that 13-round ammunition magazine, exceeding the state limit of 10 rounds.
That's right.
The Senate and
That's
the
right.
House
Yeah.
voted on that recently, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. A couple years ago.
So he decided, and it's amusing when you read about it. But the weapon, okay, it's not sitting out on the passenger seat. It's in a lunchbox.
Yeah, unsecured. Not. It should be in.
On the passenger
proper,
side. Yeah.
Right.
And more ammunition clips in the center console. So it's and some of the bullets had hollow points.
You can't do that.
I'm like, wow, it just gets worse and worse. And
yeah,
worse.
I think it's funny they focus on the forgery, but
Yeah.
this is the least of the problems here.
So and then they opened up the trunk. That's where the vest was.
Yep.
And then they also found a duty belt, and they had 3 pairs of handcuffs attached to it, as well as the retractable baton. I don't know if being in possession of that is illegal or not, but that's what was there.
Right. I think it's a cumulative thing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
He appeared in the ballot. It doesn't say where he. I forget where he ended up. In the
I was
list.
going to ask if they say how many votes he got.
How many votes he got? He got 173.
Okay.
Or 5.7% of the total vote, but it doesn't say. Well, he came in 10th or something like that.
Well, there were out of 3, right? So.
Right. Well,
yes.
Did he run with John Ward and Chris Beauchamp, or was he just really? It was the 3 of them.
Wait, was there 3?
Or was it?
Or
Was it just? Well, no, they knocked it down to 2, and so it was John against Chris.
Right. Because it's double the amount of people on the ballot.
So I was wondering who ran like the primary. And
he was a primary.
Where he ended up there.
Well,
So
I mean, it's not really well, it is a primary. It's just not a partisan primary, right?
Preliminary.
Yeah, right. Right.
Got to use the right word. So that's what happened with him, and something going on in Pawtucket. When you look at the front page of Saturday's Call, in times the school superintendent has been put on indefinite leave, and they put someone else in charge.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Something big is happening. They have the special meeting just to do this down there in Pawtucket. So something big is going on down there. So that's really, really, really odd. All right. Did you watch the Oscars?
I didn't.
No, neither did I.
I didn't.
So, and then I'm seeing who won. I'm like, I don't know that movie. I don't know. I don't know
I have
who
not
won Best
seen
Picture.
any movies this year. I don't
Anora?
think.
ANORA won Best Picture.
I haven't heard of it.
Heard of it.
Has it come out yet?
But and what happens when these big movies, they were nominated in 6 categories and they won in 5.
Right. So then folks will go out and see the movie.
Now they will. Yeah. So it's got Best Movie, Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, and Best Editing. So that's what some of the other films that were nominated for Best Picture, and these guys lost. The Brutalist, Conclave, Wicked, and Amelia Perez. The only movie I've heard of is Wicked, but congratulations to Anora for winning the 97th Academy Awards winner for Best Picture. When you hear about the Best Picture, does that make you want to run out and see the movie? Really doesn't for me. It just does not do it for me. I don't know, but that's the way it goes right now. Does it make you, when you hear, oh, this movie won Best Picture, Melissa, does it make you say, oh, I want to run out and see it now?
Sometimes I think that, and then I don't actually do it. Like, oh, maybe I'll see that actually, and then I don't. So, I mean, I guess it doesn't work for me, but I'm not the typical person.
Now, the director of the movie, Anora, Sean Baker, he made history. He becomes the first person to win 4 Oscars in one night for the same movie.
Wow, really? So, wow.
I guess it's a decent, well, I don't even know what it's about,
Anora, yeah, I don't know what it's about either.
Zoe Saldana, one Oscar, Best Supporting Actress. Best Actress went to Mikey Madison in Anora. Best Supporting Actor went to Kieran Culkin. I believe that's Macaulay's brother.
Yep.
for his role in A Real Pain, and Adrian Brody took home the award for Best Actor for his role in The Brutalist. So it makes me happy I didn't stay up and watch.
Yeah.
And I guess Wicked came away with nothing. Huh?
Crazy.
Maybe Best Song. I don't know. I don't have that listing right there. So
Crazy.
yeah. Oh well. It happens. Usually the ones that are most popular don't win. It happens.
Yeah, I don't know how they figured that out. But
all right, more coffee ends coming your way. You can call and comments and questions. We're a little low on the phone staff this morning. Sorry about that. But the number to call is 766-1240.
What you said. Huge news. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a Son of Baconator for just $3. I don't think you understand this situation. The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. You know, smoked bacon, rich melted cheese. That Son of Baconator is only $3. Thank you to whoever wished upon that star. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii, not valid on a combo or in third-party delivery platforms.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
ON Radio. ONRadio.com.
Our Spotlight Bargain at ON Radio's Dollar Saver program is another half-price deal for you. Buy $50 gift cards good for anything at Gators Pub in North Smithfield and also good next door at Lumberjack's Pizza and Wieners for only $25. They are available only online right now at ONRadioDollarSaver.com. This half-price bargain is your chance to save big on great-tasting food for the weeks ahead or as gifts for family and friends, and it's only available from the ON Radio Dollar Saver program at ONRadioDollarSaver.com or take the shortcut at OneSocketRadio.com.
ON Radio. ONRadioDollarSaver.com.
Make sure you pick up those $50 gift certificates for only $25 on ONRadio.DollarSaver.com. Good to Gators Pub and Lumberjack's Pizza. We only have a handful left, and once they're gone, they're gone. Well, if you're in Texas, Melissa,
yep,
you need to keep a close eye on your pet kangaroo.
Oh, no.
And I guess it's okay to have a pet kangaroo in Texas, but it got away. And why the pet kangaroo was wearing a red sweatshirt, we don't know. But it was. And I don't know, how do you get a sweatshirt on a kangaroo? I don't know. But the kangaroo is hopping down the side of the Texas highway in LaGrange, Texas, but it's back home safe with its owner. The sheriff, which is by the Fayette County, which is in between San Antonio and Houston, says that a driver spotted the animal, snapped a picture. They were able to wrangle the kangaroo and bring it to a safe spot. A post to social media found the owner. Now, kangaroos are tough.
How do you contain something that can jump so high, number one?
I'm thinking they must have tased it. Maybe not a taser, but like a.
They have the noose that they use for animals that.
Or something to just knock it out. Maybe they can bring in a tranquilizer.
Yeah, that would probably be the best.
Let's use that because, you've seen it on YouTube. A kangaroo can reel back on its tail.
Yep.
And use those incredibly powerful legs.
Yes, right. And also,
kick
they're all muscle. They're ripped.
Yeah, they are ripped.
And they're big.
I
would not want to be face to face with a kangaroo.
And I'm sure they make lovely pets, but if you can...
Sure.
I don't know, but...
I don't know.
But if they get angry, they're going to get angry, so, oh my gosh.
How many people have kangaroos hanging out of their house? Who knows?
I'm
sure they're really cute when they're babies, just like a lot of animals, right?
Of course
look at this cute little baby. It was going to grow up to
maybe the owner has a ranch or a farm, and they raise kangaroos.
Maybe.
For
with
zoos.
Sweatshirts?
I don't know, but yeah. I could be able to tell them by name.
Yeah, I guess so.
Red and blue and yellow, so I know which kangaroos are.
When you said sweatshirt, I was picturing a hoodie, and I was like, no, they already have a pouch.
Only the females.
That's true.
So
That's true. Maybe he wanted a pouch.
Maybe it was a male.
Yeah,
so
right.
okay. Anyway, so moving up to Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. This is one of those deals once again where I've gotten away with it. I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah.
And I got away with it. I'm gonna do it again. And they must not be noticing. Pennsylvania State Police say a 7-Eleven employee has admitted to stealing $21,000.
Wow.
From the 7-Eleven they worked at in Plum, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Accountants with 7-Eleven notified the store.
How do you get away with that?
Well, the first time you can get away with it. And then, from my retail days, we made deposits every night.
Yeah.
And it all had to even out.
Yeah, you have to reconcile
be
it.
Very close.
You have to stay there until it's reconciled.
And if you're short $100 or $50, that's an issue.
Yeah.
Why are you short that amount of money?
Right.
And so if you come up short, and then the next day you're short, if you're short every single day, they're going to start.
Of course.
We're going to start an investigation.
$21,000.
Yeah.
So
Accountants with 7-Eleven notified the store earlier this month that some of their deposits were late and that others were missing altogether. So that's another scheme. If you're not making the deposit every day, they're going to, hey, what's going on? 49-year-old, this is no kid, 49-year-old Lee Ann Wenzel tells authorities she took the money with the intent of paying it back. Always, yeah. But was unable to replace it fast enough. Doesn't say, sometimes you hear, well, it's a gambling problem.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking,
I'm just going to go double my money.
So, yep.
And I can put the money back and no one will be the wiser.
So that actually happened in a restaurant that I worked at, I don't know, like 30 years ago. I was really young.
Yeah.
One of the assistant managers had a gambling problem.
Okay.
And then, one morning there was like no deposit in the safe because you would reconcile it if you were at the end of the night, and then the different person coming in the morning would take it to the bank. They opened the safe and there was nothing there. And it ended up being gambling related. And they just thought, well, I can, make it up, I guess. But that didn't happen. So.
When I worked,
but it happened. But it was found out the very first time. Like there was only one time.
Oh, okay.
Right, that we know of that happened, and then that was done.
The way it worked for me is the manager that reconciled the cash register. They made the deposit, so they would leave around 5:30 and go to the bank and make the deposit then. And then the manager that came in the next morning stopped at the bank and got the receipt back.
Oh yeah,
so that's how we kept track of it there. The bigger stores, like a Home Depot and a Lowe's and a Walmart. They don't go make the deposit. The deposit comes to them.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, those armored cars.
Yep.
That's what they're doing.
Yep.
They're picking up the deposit.
Yeah. I think they just did, and we closed late. I think, and they didn't want us going to the bank at night.
Okay, and making a deposit.
Yeah.
They always told us one of the scams that people tried to do, especially if you go at night and the bank is closed and you get the outside deposit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever seen that. If anybody's there. Or if there's maybe they're not even there, handwritten sign saying the deposit's not working, put the deposit in the box that's on the floor, on the ground. They said, don't do that.
Don't do that.
That's a scam. And if you ever run across that, hang on to it, go home with it, bring it in the next morning, and everything will be fine. But
I don't think I would go home with it. I think I would return it to the store. I don't even want it in my possession.
Well,
right?
At the time when that was in play, I was leaving a mall. Now the mall's closed, and you can't get back in.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Unless you know the secret ways in. By the way, I used to know the secret ways into Emerald Square Mall.
Oh, okay.
I could probably still get in, unless they've done something about it. But anyway, so they always said, okay, if that's the case and you can't get back in, you had to bring it home.
Yeah.
don't just. Oh my gosh! Don't just leave it. So, all right, moving on now. Up in Boston, there's a new nasal spray that they're working on that'll work to help people with concussions. They say it looks promising.
Oh, interesting.
Smelling salts are coveted by athletes, but scientists may have found something even better. Researchers at Mass General Brigham studied the effects of an antibody-based nasal spray on brain-injured mice. The spray seemed to improve the brain's natural healing process while simultaneously reducing damaging inflammation. The findings could lead to a preventative treatment against the long-term implications of traumatic brain injuries and other conditions like stroke.
That's great.
Wow, this is a good thing.
Yeah, this is a really good thing.
According to the CDC, more than 200,000 Americans were hospitalized in 2023 for a traumatic brain injury, while almost 70,000 people die from them in 2023. So, boy, if they can get it, almost sounds like Narcan for the people that are overdosing.
Right, it's like almost like an instant
bring you right out of
anti-inflammatory. Right, because once you get that swelling, it's dangerous.
And boy, those pro athletes will, no pun intended, will eat it up.
Yeah.
To get back into the game.
Yeah.
'Cause right now, I know, especially the NFL, no, you have a concussion, you're out for the rest of the game. And now you get all sorts of protocols. But if this works and you can get back in right away.
I don't think it's necessarily that maybe you should get back in there, but, it's prevention.
That's the way
That's
athletes
the thing.
think.
I know. I think you should probably still sit it out just in case.
Especially hockey
it's
players.
Not magic, right? Science, not magic.
Right. Stitch it up, but you got a collapsed lung. Blow it back up.
Yep.
I got to get back out there.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Wild.
From what you might have heard about Robert F. Kennedy and his vaccine situation, he's actually pushing for the measles vaccination.
I read that.
So,
yes.
most of the vaccines he was against was for COVID-19, but for these standard standard vaccines for measles, smallpox, polio, he's for. Last week, authorities reported the first measles death in the United States.
Yeah.
In over a decade. Took place in Texas. A child died in Texas. While noting that the decision to vaccinate is a personal one, Kennedy said the vaccine for measles protects children and contributes to community immunity.
It does.
So, yeah.
So I think sometimes people misunderstand what herd immunity means.
Okay.
Because they think it means everybody gets it, and then you build up an immunity. That's not what it is. Herd immunity is when you have enough people vaccinated, so that the unvaccinated person
will be okay.
It doesn't spread like the measles has among unvaccinated children in Texas. But of course there is MMR, which is measles, mumps, and rubella.
Right.
But rubella is like German measles, which is a different kind of measles, and that has had a comeback case as well. So, everybody was supposed to get the MMR as a child. I'm not sure. I don't get it.
You can only say
it's one thing you're like, oh, I don't think I'll get
religious reasons.
Well, but I guess.
So, like we said, the Academy Awards were last night, and if you were nominated, not won, but if you were just nominated, you got you get a goodie bag.
Mm-hmm.
And the goodie bag is put together by a marketing company called Distinctive Assets. This is more than just a goodie bag.
It's super posh.
You're not just getting lollipops and a Snickers and a Reese's.
This is like a real deal swag bag.
This is what they got last night: a 5-night luxury stay in Sri Lanka, and other stays in Maldives.
Maldives, yeah.
Maldives, Barcelona, and elsewhere. You get trips. And if you need it or want it, liposuction treatment, skincare products, luggage, alcohol, books, and a bevy of other goods. The nominees will also get membership to Bright Harbor, an agency offering $1 million in personalized disaster support after the LA wildfires. Wow. Now I want to be nominated. If you get this, I don't even know where. If you just get that,
is a strange gift.
But it's there.
Okay,
it's there.
It's that person that company obviously thinks they're gonna if somebody comes in for $5,000, maybe they'll spend $20,000.
Maybe, yeah. Okay, this might be a man after your own heart, Melissa. I'm not sure, but a man's under arrest in Southern California. He staged a jailbreak of sorts San Bernardino police officers say the man broke into an animal shelter in the middle of the night with a bolt cutter, and he freed several dogs. Fly and be free, my fellow doggies. The early Wednesday morning breakout was all caught on surveillance video, which investigators used to track the man down. All but one of the dogs have been recovered safe and sound. One microchip chihuahua is still on the lam.
Oh.
Well, they're so tiny.
I
and they can
know.
hide everywhere. But they got the microchip. I don't know how they can't find it.
Oh, so yeah, like it's not a GPS thing, right?
No. Oh, okay.
It's a thing where like it's under it's under their skin, like in between their shoulder blades. So if you find a dog, you should first bring it to be scanned, and they can tell you if it has a microchip.
Okay, and they should tell you who the owner is.
And it
like
should,
that.
unless the person didn't register the microchip. But then it's not helpful. But
you got to look out for chihuahuas because they bark and bite. if they don't know you.
I've done rescue for years. I have managed a doggy daycare. Very busy. I've vet teched. I've been bitten 3 times. Once was by a lab, which you wouldn't think,
expect that,
right? Yeah. Another was by a very old, very mean cat. That was a bad bite.
Okay.
And the third one was a chihuahua.
Okay. That'll do it for the show for today. So we thank you very much for listening. We thank Scott Gibbs, Town Administrator for North Smithfield, for joining us, and he'll join us again next month as well. And Melissa, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, and thanks to Dan Genron, talking about the Woonsocket City Council meeting, which is tonight on ON Radio at 7, right after the Tiki Bar. Stay tuned for Leslie Page at the Libraries coming up next, followed by Food First with Karen Zangari on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. The Republican Party of Rhode Island has concluded its 2025 reorganization meeting, re-electing Joe Powers as chairman. The Republicans say they are committed to strengthening their grassroots efforts, holding Democrats accountable, and ensuring that common sense, pro-growth policies, and other Republican agenda items take center stage. Powers says Rhode Islanders deserve a Republican Party that's organized, determined, and ready